2:14 in the afternoon. Your phone buzzes once. That is the whole moment your life splits in two. You are sitting in a gray cubicle that smells like burnt coffee, refreshing a spreadsheet that is not even yours. The fluorescent light above your desk has been flickering for 3 weeks, and nobody has fixed it. Your manager walks past. He does not see you. Nobody sees you. Then you look down at your phone, and your hands go cold. A tiny logistics tool you bought quietly 11 months ago just sold. Not for what you paid, for triple. You read the number twice. Then a third time. You built something invisible, and it is alive. You close the laptop like nothing happened. A coworker asks if you are okay. You say you are fine. You are not fine. You are standing at the edge of something enormous, and no one around you has any idea. That night you lock your door, close the blinds, and open the real folder. Not the spreadsheet from your day job. The one labeled Personal Projects, buried 3 folders deep where no one would ever think to look. Inside it is 11 months of quiet, obsessive architecture. An LLC in Delaware, a holding entity in Wyoming, 3 bank accounts under names that do not sound like you. You scroll through it slowly, the way other people scroll through old photos. This is your real life. The cubicle was never it. You think back to how small it started. $500, a domain, a registered agent fee. You bought a dying online store from a burned-out founder who just wanted out. You fixed the checkout in a weekend. You told no one. 4 months later, it made $2,500 in profit. You sold it for $6,000 to a buyer who never learned your real name. That was the moment you wrote Rule 1 on a sticky note and never took it down. Never be visible. The second people know what you are building, they start asking why. And why is a door that lets them in? You do not spend a single cent of the $6,000 on yourself. Not on a new phone, not on a night out, not on anything that would make your life look even slightly different from the outside. Half goes into a second deal, a small directory site with lazy traffic and a lazier owner. Half goes into forming a proper holding company. From now on, nothing belongs to you. Everything belongs to it. You become a shadow behind a shadow. One night, your girlfriend picks up your phone to check the time and sees a bank notification flash across the screen, a number with too many zeros. She laughs and asks if you got a bonus at work. Your heart stops for exactly 1 second. You laugh back and say it is a typo, some glitch with the app. She believes you because why would she not? You lie there afterwards staring at the ceiling, aware for the first time of how thin the wall between your 2 lives really is. 3 months in, the directory site triples its revenue after you rebuild the back end at 2 in the morning on weeknights. You still show up to your day job at 9. You still nod through meetings about targets that feel like someone else's life. You are living 2 timelines. In one, you are an underpaid analyst. In the other, you are quietly assembling an empire. By month 7, the holding company owns 4 small businesses worth around $80,000 combined. You have told no one, not your parents, not your girlfriend, especially not her. The one time you almost mentioned it, something in your gut told you to stop talking. You listened. By month 8, a seller offers you a second warehouse company in the exact same niche as your first. The margins look good. Your hand is already reaching for the wire transfer form. Then you stop. Same industry, same risk. 1 bad year wipes out both. You close the laptop and walk away from $90,000 of upside because you already learned the hard way. Never let 2 dominoes touch. That same week, a different seller wants to meet at his office instead of over email. It would seal the deal a day faster. You say no, tell your broker you are out of town, and let the deal move slower instead. Faces get remembered. Remembered faces get talked about. The only place you ever admit any of this out loud is the mirror at 2 in the morning, and even then, once, never twice. Pride is the first leak. You start reading contract law instead of sleeping. Real books, dense ones, the kind lawyers charge $400 an hour to explain. You learn what protects you and what quietly destroys you. You learn which deal structure hides your name the best. Some nights you fall asleep with the laptop still open on your chest, a paragraph about liability half read, your alarm set for 6 so you can shower and become the analyst again. Before anyone notices, you never really slept. Then the risk arrives. The logistics company, the one from the opening moment. The seller wants more money after the deal already closed. He claims you misrepresented the terms. He starts making calls. Not lawsuits yet, just calls. to people, to a local business paper. Your name is nowhere, but your registered agent's name is public, and that is a thread. Threads unravel. You meet him once, in a parking garage that smells like oil and cold concrete, at 7 in the morning before work. He is older than you expected, tired eyes, a man who thought he found a mark and is starting to realize he did not. You bring timestamps, emails, proof the deal was clean. You are calm on the outside. Inside, your heart is a drum solo. He talks for a while, about being cheated, about needing more. You let him finish before you say a single word. Then you lay the documents on the hood of his car, one at a time, slow enough that he has to read each one. He goes quiet. He takes a small settlement, $1,500, just to disappear. You drive to work shaking, not from fear, from something closer to hunger. You just protected something you built from nothing, using nothing but paper and nerve. Money is not the dangerous part. Exposure is. 10 months in, the holding company crosses 6 figures on paper, almost 100,000 in real liquid value. You still live in the same apartment. You still drive the same car with the check engine light you have ignored for a year. Rule 3, written in permanent marker inside your closet door where no one will ever look, says never let your lifestyle become a receipt for your success. You quit your day job in month 11. No dramatic resignation. Just a quiet 2-week notice and a story about wanting to freelance. Your manager wishes you luck. You almost laugh at how easy the disguise is. Free from the cubicle, you move faster. You buy a small invoicing tool for contractors, paying $40,000, most of it pulled from profits already sitting in the business. You negotiate through encrypted messages with a broker who has never seen your face. In 4 months, you double its recurring revenue by fixing the one thing every lazy operator ignores: onboarding. Something shifts here. In the beginning, you built because you were angry. Angry at being invisible. Angry at watching people get promoted for less effort than you gave for free. Now you build because stopping feels unbearable. You wake at 5, not because you have to, but because your brain will not let you rest. You start speaking less to the people you love. Your girlfriend asks why you seem distant. You tell her work is stressful. It is not a lie. It is a smaller truth hiding a bigger one. You start to notice the cost of secrecy compounding, just like your revenue does. Every dinner where you lie by omission. Every family gathering where someone asks if you are doing okay financially, and you shrug like you are barely getting by, while your holding company quietly closes a deal worth more than your parents' house. Your mother asks once, gently, if you need to borrow money for rent. You tell her you are managing. You watch her face relax with relief that you do not need help, and something in your chest tightens because she will never know how far from true that is. You could buy the house she grew up dreaming about. Instead, you nod and change the subject to the weather. By month 14, you sit near $900,000 in enterprise value across 6 companies. You hire your first employee, a virtual assistant overseas who has no idea what you actually own. She thinks she works for a small consulting agency. You tell yourself this protects her too. Some part of you almost believes it. Sometimes at night, you open a message thread with your virtual assistant and read back through her updates. Cheerful, competent, completely unaware. She sends you a good morning message most days. You wonder, briefly, what she would think if she knew the truth. Then you close the thread and tell yourself it does not matter. It is safer this way, for both of you. Then a bigger holding company notices one of your assets performing suspiciously well. They send an offer. Unsolicited, aggressive. $600,000 for the logistics company alone, the same one that almost exposed you a year earlier. You sit with the offer for 6 days. Selling means real money, permanently. It also means due diligence. Lawyers digging into ownership. Exactly the kind of light you have spent over a year avoiding. So you counter. Instead of selling, you offer a licensing deal. They use your back-end technology under their own brand for $150,000 up front, plus royalties. It keeps you invisible. It keeps you in control. They agree, reluctantly impressed, never knowing the person negotiating through an intermediary is 27 years old and has never once appeared on a company website. Somewhere in here you notice something in yourself you do not say out loud. A quiet, cold contempt for people still trading their one lifetime for someone else's paycheck. You catch yourself judging a friend for complaining about a bad boss, and you hate that reaction, because a year ago you were exactly him. By month 18, The holding company crosses $3 million in combined valuation. You buy your first asset for yourself quietly, a modest 3-bedroom house, structured in a way that does not trace neatly back to any single deal. You still drive the old car. You still wear the same 3 sweaters in rotation. The paranoia does not fade with the number. If anything, it sharpens, because now there is more to lose. Around month 22, the broker handling your licensing deal makes a mistake. He forwards an internal thread to the competitor's legal team and forgets to strip a line off the top. Your real name sits there in plain text, next to the registered agent for your holding company, inside an inbox that is no longer yours to control. You find out 4 hours later, by accident, when the broker calls to apologize before you even know what happened. Your stomach drops in a way it never has, not with the seller, not with any number on any term sheet. This is not a bigger company or a stranger's threat. This is your own guy. One careless click nearly ends everything anyway. Your pulse does not just spike, it stays elevated for days. You barely sleep. You refresh your own name in search results the way you used to refresh that spreadsheet. Except now the stakes are everything you built. You seriously consider dissolving it all and starting clean. You pay a lawyer in cash equivalent transfers, someone recommended by someone who owes you a favor. He tells you the exposure is minimal, but not zero. That sentence haunts your showers for a week straight. You restructure anyway, $15,000 in legal fees to build a cleaner layer between you and every asset. But you also do something new. You start compartmentalizing information itself. No single person, not your lawyer, not your broker, not even your VA, ever gets the full picture again. Everyone gets a slice. Nobody gets the whole map. 3 weeks later, nothing has happened. Nobody called. You exhale for the first time in 11 days, a long breath you did not realize you had been holding since the moment that email left the broker's outbox. The biggest risk was never a stranger finding you. It was trusting anyone at all. By month 28, you sit at $8.5 million in total enterprise value across 12 businesses, software tools, logistics platforms, small online retail brands. You have met maybe 5 of your business partners in person, ever. Your face appears on 0 documents a casual search could find. Your family still thinks you do consulting. In the quiet hours, something uncomfortable becomes clear. The $500 was never really the beginning. The beginning was the moment you decided invisibility was worth more than recognition, that being underestimated was a weapon sharper than any resume, that the world rewards the people it never sees coming. By month 31, an offer lands for the entire structure. Not one asset this time, the whole architecture. $10.4 million, cash and earnouts, from a private equity group that spent 4 months trying to figure out who actually controls everything they are buying. Your lawyer handles every call. Your name touches nothing. Somewhere across the country, a room full of people in suits argue about a company they cannot fully picture, run by someone none of them have ever met, and not one of them guesses your age. You sit in the same apartment you almost left 2 years ago, staring at a number that used to feel like fiction. You feel nothing like triumph. You feel something closer to grief. For every dinner you sat through pretending to be smaller than you were. For every relationship that quietly starved on secrecy, while the empire fed on it instead. You sign. Somewhere in the world, money moves that will never trace back to your name in any headline, any interview, any record anyone will casually stumble across. You built something worth more than most people will earn in 3 lifetimes. And to everyone who has ever known you, you are still just the quiet one who does something with computers. You sit in the dark afterward, phone in hand, staring at a balance that does not feel real yet. Outside your window, the same street looks exactly like it did 3 years ago. The same streetlight, the same neighbor's dog barking at nothing. Nothing about your life looks different from the outside, and that was always the point. And now, for the first time, it feels less like a victory and more like a sentence you wrote for yourself. You think about calling someone, your girlfriend, your mother, just to say it out loud once, to let someone else hold the weight for 5 minutes. Your thumb hovers over the screen. Then you set the phone face down on the table, the way you have 1,000 times before. You walk to the window instead. Outside, a streetlight flickers over the same empty street it always has, the same slow stutter as the light above your old desk, the one nobody ever fixed. Somewhere out there, $10 million just changed hands because of a decision you made alone in this room. And in here, in the one place in the world where you are fully known, there is no one standing beside you to see it. You stand there a long time, watching the light flicker, the richest man on the block, and the only one home.